This is the Hisense M2 Pro, a triple laser 4K portable projector. I've been using it as my main screen for movies, games, and a couple of work presentations. And my honest first impression is that it feels like a proper home theater that just happens to be small enough to carry around. Key features that stood out to me start with the color. The triple RGB laser light source gives this thing a punchy, saturated look that still stays natural. Skin tones look right, neon signs actually glow, and animation pops without looking cartoonish. If you're new to displays, triple laser means it uses separate red, green, and blue lasers instead of a single light with a color wheel. That helps it cover a wider color range and keep colors pure. HDR is legit here, especially with Dolby Vision. HDR, high dynamic range, is what lets bright highlights sparkle and dark scenes hold detail at the same time. With Dolby Vision, the projector reads scene-by-scene data to adjust brightness and contrast, and it makes a difference on high-quality streams. From my experience, setup is almost silly easy. I put it down, let Auto Magic AI adjusting do its thing, and within seconds it focused, squared itself to the wall, and resized to fit my screen. It even skirted around a light switch on a side wall during a quick demo, which was funny to watch. The wall color correction is also surprisingly useful. I tried it on a slightly warm tone wall, and it pulled whites back to neutral better than I expected. Quick note for beginners. Digital keystone and auto screen fit are fantastic for convenience, but they can shave a bit of brightness and micro detail. When I want the cleanest image, I nudge the projector physically so it needs less correction, and then let autofocus finish the job. The image holds up nicely at different sizes thanks to a true 1.0 to 1.3x optical zoom. Optical zoom equals the lens does the resizing, so you keep full 4K sharpness. Digital zoom, the software crops and scales, which softens the picture. I've run it anywhere from about 80 inches to well past 120 inches, and the sharpness stays consistent, even near the edges. Under the hood, it uses a 0.47-inch DLP chip with pixel shifting to render 4K on screen. If you're not into specs, what you need to know is text looks crisp, film grain shows up cleanly, and fine details in hair or fabric hold together on big screens. Brightness is rated at 1300 ANSI lumens, and that matches what I'm seeing. In a dim room or at night, it looks vivid and cinematic. With blinds open in the afternoon, the picture is watchable but noticeably flatter. If you plan to use it during the day, I'd suggest an ALR, ambient light rejecting screen, or at least some light control. Contrast is solid for a compact DLP, and shadow detail in darker scenes is better than I expected, especially in Dolby Vision. It avoids that muddy black crush that makes dark scenes look like one big blob. Motion handling needed a tweak. Out of the box, the MMC motion smoothing is a bit strong and adds that soap opera vibe. Switching to the film setting keeps motion clearer without making movies look like live TV. If you hate any smoothing, turn it off. The bass motion is fine. Sound surprised me. The 2x10 watt speakers are clear, decently loud for a medium room, and dialogue sits forward, which I appreciate. DTS Virtual X gives a slightly larger soundstage than basic stereo. For movie night, it's totally usable on its own. When I wanted more, I used eARC on the HDMI port to pass audio to a soundbar, which worked cleanly. Bluetooth audio works too, but like most Bluetooth setups, there can be a small delay that you might notice with people talking on screen. The design makes sense for a portable. It's a compact cube shape, about 9 by 9 by 8.5 inches, 8.6 pounds, with an integrated gimbal stand that tilts all the way up. I've aimed it at a wall and also straight at the ceiling for a laid-back viewing session. And that flexibility is half the fun. The big glass lens on the front looks premium, and the included case is actually nice enough that I used it without feeling like I was tossing gear into a gym bag. Fan noise is a non-issue for me. Even playing Dolby Vision content at higher brightness, it stayed quiet enough that I didn't notice it once audio was on. Vidaa, Hisense's smart OS, is faster than I expected and feels clean. Streaming apps launch quickly, and Netflix is actually native, which is not a given on portable projectors. The remote has a backlight, which is clutch in a dark room, and voice search has been reliable for me. Compared to some Google TV devices I've used, this setup process felt lighter and less cluttered. Gaming has been good. The HDMI 2.1 port supports All-M, so it flips into game mode with my console automatically. Input lag is low enough that I didn't feel delayed in shooters, and it can push higher refresh rates at 1080p if you plug in a PC. For console gaming, 4K 60 looks clean. If you're chasing max frame rates on PC, 1080p up to 240 Hz is on the table. Just know there is one big catch. There's only a single HDMI input. That's tough if you want a console and a Blu-ray player and maybe a streaming stick. I ended up using an HDMI switcher to avoid cable swapping. The rear also has one USB port and no Ethernet jack, so it's Wi-Fi only for networking. I have to mention rainbow artifacts because some people are sensitive to them on single-chip DLP projectors. In high-contrast scenes with fast movement, I can occasionally catch a quick flash of color. I'm moderately sensitive, and with this unit, I noticed it once in a while, but not enough to bother me. If you know you're highly sensitive, test a DLP projector before you commit. On the flip side, I didn't see distracting laser speckle, which I was worried about at first. About 3D, it's labeled 3D ready, but in practice, it didn't play nice with my 3D Blu-ray discs. If 3D discs are a must for you, this won't replace a dedicated home theater projector that fully supports that format. It's perfect for apartment living, bedrooms, casual backyard nights, and anyone who wants a legit big screen experience without installing a ceiling mount or running cables. The 65 to 200-inch range means you can keep it modest or go huge for movie night. In my opinion, the M2 Pro nails the balance between high-end picture quality and everyday convenience. From my experience, a few quick tips help it shine. Place it as square to the screen as you can and let autofocus do the rest. Use the film motion mode or turn motion off for movies. Stick with Dolby Vision when available. If you watch during daylight, close the shades or pair it with an ALR screen. And if you have more than one source, plan on an HDMI switch or lean on the built-in apps. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants a portable projector that doesn't feel like a compromise. The color performance is excellent. Dolby Vision support is rare at this size, the optical zoom is a big advantage, and the setup automation is genuinely useful. The single HDMI port is the biggest practical limitation, and a small group of viewers may notice rainbow artifacts. If those aren't deal breakers for you, this is an easy pick. In conclusion, the Hisense M2 Pro delivers a true big screen vibe with top-tier color, strong HDR, quiet operation, and a smart platform that actually covers the apps I use daily. It's a projector I kept reaching for because it's simple to live with and impressive when the lights go down. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the Hisense M2 Pro. Thank you for watching.